Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of an Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. My name is Will, I'm an ecologist by training, and this is StarRupture, which I am very excited about. During December, my wife and I, we played the open beta test for the co-op, and it was a lot of fun. So here we are back. It is a factory crafting survival game, but with a twist, as you'll see in a bit. We're going to start a new game. I'm going to call the session name Ecology Rules because, well, ecology does rule, and we are going to be playing ecologically. So, yeah, let's go for this. Now, you've got a choice of 4 different characters you can play here, and you can change character during your playthrough quite easily. Obviously, for us, there is no real option. We're definitely going to go for biologist here. We've got our regeneration chamber here, which is where we can actually respawn if/when we do die. I've just grabbed some stuff in the personal storage. As you can see here, there are 4 regeneration chambers. You can play up to 4-player co-op, which is quite nice. We are going to head on out here. I have disabled the tutorial. I'm not playing through the tutorial. I'm actually starting immediately, and we are greeted with what appears to be quite a barren landscape. Yet there are some grasses growing here as well, so there are signs of life even in this little barren area here. But going just over the crest here, we are greeted with some greenery. Now, we are technically prisoners, and we've been sent to this penal colony over here to come and mine. So this is what we're going to do. We've got asteroids that we are mining, and each asteroid has got these weak spots, and from what I've seen, if you actually mine each of these weak spots, the meteorite disintegrates, which is faster than just mining the entire meteorite. There we go. And of course, we have got water here as well, and we'll get back to the water over here in a moment. But first, we are going to actually set up a bit of a base over here. This to me is one of the best places to at least have your first base. You've got most of the resources you could want, you've got over here. In particularly tungsten, or wolfram as it is called in the game here, and titanium, which you can mine over here. Now, though we are going to be mining quite a lot, we are going to be doing it in as environmentally friendly manner as possible. We are going to hopefully not do it at the expense of the environment. Now, that's the idea at least. So, first things first, we do need to place down a base core. And this will allow us to actually build other structures as well. And we're going to build this generally in the middle area of where we want to build. You can see the radius. It extends all the way up to, wow, all the way up to there actually. Wow, that's quite a big radius. Okay. We're going to place it over here though. Generally I think this is fine. I'm going to raise it slightly higher. The reason for this is because I do want small animals to move around here unimpeded. This is one of the tenets of my playthrough. Animals must be able to still move freely. Now, we only really have the vermin, as they are called, the critters that will attack us. So we don't have any, apart from the insects that we'll chat about in a bit, we don't really have any other small wildlife that can move through here. But theoretically, we should have animals moving through here unimpeded. Now, of course, we do also want at least a small base to start with. I'm going to have that, I think actually just behind, over here. And we're going to build a double story here. The reason I have this rather than 2 next to each other is, again, minimize the footprint. Of course, we need to get in there, so there we go. Stairs and an airlock to actually go in here. And then a vertical connector so we can at least climb up here. Now, there are a few other things we also do need. We do need a basic item printer. We'll put that down right over there. And then we need to actually make a few more basic building material here. And now let's get our mining operations operational before we do anything else. The first 2 basic resources we'll need will of course be the titanium over here and wolfram or tungsten over there. Tungsten extremely dense, extremely heavy, titanium extremely strong. So it does make sense that we would be mining these 2 metals. Now we're going to put some excavators up, and they are quite big machinery, and you can only place them on these resource nodes like this. You can't place them out in the open over there. Now with this ecological playthrough, we are not going to over-harvest the area. We're not going to place down too many machinery. We're not going to place another titanium excavator up there. We're not going to place another tungsten excavator over here. We are just going to be running, at least for now, with these 2. This should be sufficient. We're going to take it slow and steady. Now from the excavator, we of course are going to have to place down a smelter, and we'll need this for the titanium as well as for the wolfram. Now of course I can place a smelter right over here, but this is some nice greenery over here. I could place it right in the rock cracks here, but there would be quite a few animals making this home, so let's not do that. We're actually going to try and put the smelter down, I think over here. This is a more barren patch. This should be fine. Now later on we are going to get a fabricator and we're going to get a whole bunch of other stuff, but for now the last thing we're going to place is the orbital cargo launcher, and we're going to place I think 4 down. And yeah, we are unfortunately in this case going to place it right here in the greenery. Oh, we do need more resources. Oh dear, okay. We don't have enough building resources. Let's go mine a bit.
I don't get it, Sam. What's so interesting in beetles or flowers?
They're part of the world we live in and are inextricably connected to it. We wouldn't exist without beetles or flowers.
We wouldn't exist without fundamental forces. Beetles and flowers can be easily replaced with automated systems. You can't replace electromagnetism.
You'd really want to live in a world without plants?
I wouldn't mind it.
That was a very interesting interaction there, with the fact that one prisoner doesn't really care about animals, the butterflies and plants and stuff like that. So, you know, this is a problem. Like, okay, so what value does it have? It is a view that some people have, like, okay, what's the point of it all? Why are we spending so much money protecting butterflies and bees and, you know, save the bees and all that? Why not just let them go extinct? We can do a whole bunch of stuff on our own. Yeah, we can basically play God, but in the end, if we lose, you know, nature, we lose quite a lot, because a lot of the systems that we depend on as humans are dependent on nature being functional. So that is why, as I'm running around here, I'm not over-harvesting the plants we're encountering, just harvesting some of them. But with the meteorites, I am harvesting them all, because, well, they're not really that integral to the nature here. Well, I say that, but that is a very Earth-centric view. Maybe there are some organisms on Arcadia 7, the planet that we are on, that actually require the raw metals available in the meteorites. It's unlikely, but there could be, so maybe we should leave a few meteorites at least for them to utilize. The thing is that every time there is a solar rupture in the game here, there are new meteorites hitting the planet as well, so that does regenerate quite quickly. We have to be careful. We are running around here, and I'm pretty sure there could be some of those vermin, some of those little critters. I call them vermin because that's the official name they have in the game here, but I don't see them as vermin. I see them as the animals that are native to Arcadia 7. I hear something's attacking us. Danger music. Oh, hello there. The only gun we currently have is, of course, our mining ray here. So we are just protecting ourselves with that.
I never heard of a species like that.
They're vermin, the main threat on this planet.
What do you mean, main?
Most of the people that arrived on Arcadia 7 were eliminated by these creatures. Natural disasters you can prepare for, but vermin are a bit more unpredictable.
Another nightmare no one told us about.
Yeah. Oh, there are some more dangerous critters up there. Let's avoid them for now, shall we? At least until we have a better weapon. Now, it's interesting that we've got so many critters here, and they do seem to be very social, so they may be eusocial, maybe they are critter queens. I'm guessing they would be. I would really not be surprised if they are. But they appear to be carnivorous, so we haven't encountered any herbivorous animals yet. Which they of course would need to be if you are to support the entire food web, so you can't just have carnivores, they have to feed on something, and they can't just feed on one another. So why can't carnivores just feed on one another? It's because every time you've got a transfer of energy from one trophic level to the next, you lose energy along the way. The trophic level is an organism's position within the food web based on how many transfers of energy there have been from the primary producers, the plants, over to where they are. So you've got your plants, and your next trophic level, you've got herbivores. Those are the organisms, of course, that eat the plants, and those we also call the primary consumers. But you also then have animals that feed on those herbivores. They are the secondary consumers. And then you've got animals that feed on the secondary consumers. They are the tertiary consumers. But imagine this way. The sun over there is shining down on this planet, and these plants are photosynthesizing. if they are using the same pathways as plants on Earth generally use, i.e. photosynthesis, they would be photosynthesizing, converting that radiant energy into sugars, okay, and storing it as chemical energy. But now they also will be using some of that energy for cellular respiration to stay alive. Oh, we've got some explosive critters over there. They are going to be attacking us shortly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got one little critter over there. And here they come. These guys, they explode. So we can't let them come too close, because they have got this toxic cloud that they are releasing there. When either they, die due to us killing them, or they explode willingly. Anyway, back to why you can't have just carnivores. So the herbivores that have been feeding on the plants, yes, they get a lot of energy from the plants when they photosynthesize and they store the energy as sugars. Well, the sugars don't just stay there forever. Eventually the sugars will get used by the plant in order to actually stay alive. That of course means that some of the energy that they've stored then gets used. Now, an animal, a herbivore, now eats that plant. There are some more creatures attacking us. Oh, quite a few. Hello there. Oh, hello. There's an explosive one. And it is building up pressure and exploding like that. Interesting. Oh, there's a bigger one. Just going to jump out of the way there. Very agile. Very, very agile. And they do seem to be shielding themselves. Yeah, it was self-defense. They do seem to be shielding themselves there with their forelimbs, with a almost factorial forelimbs, very similar to mantids. Yeah, so we were really... so yeah, we've been really under attack for quite a bit now, as we're just mining a bit here. We are minding our own business, but they do mind us being here. Okay, they've got some more coming across the glen here. Oh, hello. No. Another one over here. Oh, quite a lot. I'm pretty sure I saw another... There we go. There is another gas guy up there. There we go. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. Alright, I guess that was everyone, at least for now. Right, now, where was I? Oh, yes. Herbivores. So, the herbivores now feed on the plants, right? Whether it be on the leaves or the fruit, doesn't matter. They feed on the plants. They then get some of the energy that was stored by the plant. Now, first of all, digestion doesn't digest everything. I don't know of any animal that has 100% digestion that will get all the energy stored in the food. So some food particles will not be digested. Already the herbivore isn't getting all the energy that was stored by the plant that it obtained from the sun. But now of the energy that the animal ingests, that the herbivore ingests, they also will be using some of it for cellular respiration to keep their cells alive. So that means that not all of the energy that herbivore obtains from the plant, that the plant obtained from the sun, will now be stored in its body for a carnivore to then obtain when it eats the herbivore. And every time you have a transfer of energy from one trophic level to the next, you lose some energy. Some energy gets lost through cellular respiration at the previous trophic level. And it's very often lost as heat. Okay, when our cells undergo cellular respiration, we release heat. Okay, and that gets sent back into the atmosphere and is lost from the food web. Okay, we can't reuse that heat. So in this case, where we've got so many carnivores, that really is weird. I would not expect a food web to be able to support so many carnivores without any herbivores. But we'll dwell on that later. For now, let's create a lot of building material, because we're gonna need it. Right, I did say we're going to create 4 of these orbital launchers. And we're going to set it up in such a way that there is a bit of space between them again. Okay. So these 4 are for the wolfram over here, and we're going to have 4 more over here for the tungsten. Now, I was going to build it here, but look at what we've got here. We've got a wetland ecosystem here. We've got some plants adapted to life in water, and water here would be the lifeblood of this ecosystem, most likely, okay? If it's anything like Earth, this is incredibly important. So we're not going to build here, and we can't build within a 50-meter radius of the wetland here. So what we are going to have to do is we are going to have to send everything off a bit further, okay? So that we do not build in the wetland ecosystem. Now, considering that anything uphill of that wetland will also impact it, that smelter over there is already kind of dodgy, but in order to prevent any further damage to the aquatic environment, we are going to build a little bit more to this side, and we're not going to build uphill of that wetland there. We are going to build, I think, over here, right on the edge of where we actually can build. Now this of course needs to be connected via rails, so we've got the titanium excavator connected to the smelter. We've got the smelter heading over to the orbital launchers, although we'll probably have the fabricator over here somewhere, right over here most likely. So let's connect it, just have a little bit of a pylon over here. Then we're going to have a connector like this, which will split it and split it again. And we'll just connect like this. Connect, 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 and connect. Now, we have one thing missing, and that is power. We do not have any power being generated yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build some solar panels up here. And each solar panel only generates about 10 megawatts. So we're going to need a bit more. In order to actually still allow movement along here, either by myself or by animals, we're just going to raise this little walkway here and connect it via stairs. And this should give us power all the way here. So we've got 5 solar panels here. So 50 megawatts being generated, 50 being used. So this is a perfectly fine setup. And the power generated there is connected to our orbital launchers, and because we've got rails connected all the way along here, it's also helping us generate power for the smelter here, and as you can see there, for the excavator. It is now operational. And now we're just going to replicate this on this side as well. Now again, we've got the rock cracks over here, which could be home to some critters, so we're going to, I guess, just move. Let's see, where will we have the least impact? We're just going to have a pillar over here, I think. That's fine. Goes into the smelter. And there we go. We now have 60 megawatts being generated here as connected to our little system over here. So the question then is, so what? Now, let's have a quick look here at the corporate terminal. We've got 5 companies here we can choose from, and each of these will give you certain benefits, and we can generate credits with them by giving them what they want. You can see there that Future Health Solutions here, they currently want Wolfram bars, whereas Selenium Corporation want titanium bars. Griffiths Blue Corporation also titanium bars, Moon Energy Corporation Wolfram bars, and Clever Robotics, they want Wolfram bar as well. So we can choose one of these 5. At each of these orbital launches, we can choose which one we want to send products to. And each of these will give you different things. Future Health Solutions here will give you things like the regeneration chamber, the med tool to heal yourself, LEM station to enhance yourself, different enhancements, food station, inventory upgrade, those types of things, okay? Whereas the Selenium Corporation will give you the fabricators so that you can make more fancy pants stuff. Also inventory upgrade, the furnace, helium extractor, a large habitat, all kinds of other production facilities. Griffiths Blue will give you access to weaponry, so the UPP-7 pistol, grenades, equipment upgrade stations, all those types of things, defense turrets as well, a defense tower later on, so more your arsenal. Moon Energy Corporation will give you things like your recipe stations so that you can actually unlock more complex products and foods. Your map, very, very important. So we're obviously going to go for Moon Energy Corporation in a bit. Wind turbine later on as well. Okay, so to convert wind into electrical energy rather than just the sun. Wind turbine version 2. Oh, solar generator version 2. Oh, that's wonderful. That will give you 1,000 megawatts. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we're definitely going to go for Moon Energy Corporation as much as we can. And then Clever Robotics will give you things like your personal storage, your storage depots, building drones, and then better rails, okay, that I guess work faster and have multiple rails, you know, going from point A to point B, all those types of things. So that's quite cool. Okay, so first of all, we are going to go for Moon Energy Corporation. They want Wolfram bars, and I think Future Health also wants Wolfram bars, okay. And I think Griffiths Blue Corporation, because they want titanium bars. You know, let's go for Clever Robotics first, because we do need that personal storage, and then we will go for Moon Energy Corporation. Okay.
Detecting increased rupture activity. Prepare yourselves for a wave.
Okay, so here comes a wave. Let's run in. Right, so we are safe in our habitat. We've got a little window seat here. Let's actually build another window, shall we? Another viewport. So we can see what's happening on the outside of Arcadia 7 over here. Luckily, we do have a bit of a wave warning. But the thing is, if you are way out there, when the wave hits, yeah, you are kind of screwed. Unless you are carrying enough stuff on you to just quickly plop down a base core, and a habitat and airlock, so you can actually just head into your base and, you know, not die when the solar flare hits, when the solar rupture hits. And here it comes. Oh, it's getting closer. Here comes the wave. I think it's 15 seconds warning, and then we're going to have the wave coming in. Oh, this is spectacular. Oh, this is spectacular. I love this. I mean, look at how the landscape changes. Here we go. 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1.
Rapture's eruption has started. Prepare for impact.
And now, if you are outside, you are gone. Because here comes a full blast of it. Oh. So as you'll see in a moment, there are now no plants left outside. Everything is scorched. No water even left on the planet's surface. Our machinery also obviously they've overheated, so they're not working at the moment. But given enough time, the surface will cool down and the machinery will start working again as well. Alright, I think it's cooling down enough.
Planetary temperature returning to normal.
There we go, it is indeed. We can just cool down our platform over here so we can step outside. And, you know, the stairs as well. Everything is still hot. It is metal after all. And now, look at this landscape. None of our machinery functioning at the moment, but it is a barren wasteland. Where there was water on the right-hand side here, you'll see in a moment there's nothing. Instead, we've got new meteorites that have hit, and we've got ignium over here, which is a resource that's only available after a solar rupture, like that.
What is this?
This is ignium, a cosmic mineral that's good at storing heat, but also releases it quickly. It can help you cool your base. But hurry, if not controlled, it sublimates rapidly.
So there we go. So first of all, you can use ignium, then it seems to cool our base, to keep our base cool during those ruptures, I guess, which is, I would hazard a guess, very, very important. But also, the voice there said that it does sublimate very easily, very quickly. Sublimation is when it goes from, and there you go, our mining gun has just overheated a bit here. Sublimation is when something goes from a solid to a gas. So if you take ice, for example, and you expose it to heat, it will melt, it will become water, and then if you heat it more, it will then become a gas, okay, water vapor. However, ignium just goes from a solid block of ignium over there to a gas. I guess that's what's, you know, we can see there coming off it, those little sparks there. That'll be the sublimation that is happening there. Interesting, there used to be water here. You can see here this green algae line. Okay, so the water is seeping back and the algae somehow have survived the massive solar rupture that happened. Now we will be delving into how organisms are able to survive these solar ruptures, because this is a regular occurrence, and we'll chat about that next time. For now though, I think this is a good spot to end. Of course, on Friday I'll be back in Enshrouded with another episode there, an interesting little episode coming up there as well. We're taking on a dragon. And then of course next Tuesday I will be back again with another episode of StarRupture as well. So just a massive thanks everyone for joining me on our adventure here. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast, more way than one. And of course thanks also to the guys at Terminals for providing me with a key to this game. You guys are awesome. Of course, I've got a Discord as well for any of you that want to join me over there. The link is in the description of this video. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Nice thumbs up goes a long way. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It's always great to welcome more people to the Ecology Squad. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. I will see you all soon. Cheers.